This is a fantastic song.
It is just not.
I wish y'all could, Andrew, you could see the video. It's wild. It is wild.
So bad.
She was naked.
Yeah.
In the 90s, you could just show naked people.
I'm assuming that got blurred out, but
We're live on YouTube, just so you guys are aware.
it's the perfect way to get started. It's going to be alright.
No matter what we do tonight.
The video is like somebody just figured out they could like put faces on other
Yes.
people's bodies.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about just doing like a whole bunch of bodies and we put y'all's face on it? That's Joe Perry on a Minotaur. Isn't that his name, Joe Perry?
Yep.
And that's a centaur, actually.
Sorry.
What'd you call it?
Minotaur.
What's that?
It's 2 versus 4 legs, basically.
Yeah, you idiot.
Dummy.
Yeah, a million is.
I got to stop this. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Get out of here.
A centaur has the body of a bottom half of a deer, and a centaur has the bottom half.
You said
like-
centaur twice, you idiot.
No,
God, you're so
I-
dumb.
I'm gonna be such an idiot about
Cent-
centaurs and minotaurs.
centaur has the body of a deer, and a minotaur has 2 legs, and it's like
Yeah,
bottom
Minotaur
of
is like
goat.
a beast.
Centaur,
Hey, guys.
I think is how it's pronounced.
Centaur. What
Fun.
about a
Thunder
minotaur?
one last night. That
That's
was
a
fun.
1,000 legs.
It is.
That was a fun game.
Actually, was a fun game.
You know some.
Look how much of that he's already drank.
Dude, I love this stuff.
What is that?
Flat
thank
white?
you.
Nitro, nitro cold brew.
I do like nitro cold brew.
It's so freaking.
Natural
go.
cold brew. It is also so expensive.
It is.
It's $5.
It's true. Worth.
Iote has a
Worth-
nitro cold brew that you
worth
can get.
every penny.
Not expensive, and it's good.
Like
It
you buy
is
it from
good.
their place or something.
You can buy it. They sell at the Humble Donut
Mhm.
Company. It's like $2.
Wow.
I know the guy that started Yote.
Boom. I know a guy who made a sign for it. Dusty Gilpin.
Yep.
I like this.
That is more
You know
important.
the Iote guy?
Todd Benson.
Yeah.
It's a good dude, man.
I don't know him. I've
So
heard. I've heard about him.
We met him when he was at Jacob's Ladder and he was just starting. Like we got to tour
Oh, he did that
Yeah.
place.
Yep.
Okay.
that
I was trying to remember
Boys
what-
Ranch out there, Chandler.
I really
Yes.
thought
Yeah,
it
he's
was
a good. He's a great dude, man.
Jacob's ladder.
I think they sold Iote to the Orange Leaf group.
Jacob's ladder.
So the group that
Jacob's
owns Orange
Ladder.
Leaf owns
Ladder.
Humble Donut and Yote.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
I think. How are you, man?
Good.
How's business?
Saucy and busy.
Business. No business is good.
All right, let's do this.
Never been better.
Is it time to get rid of these guys?
Well, not mine, but everybody else can.
Do you like yours?
No, I need a new one. So
What if we
bad.
just all went black and then I could go buy some gaff? I have like 4 different colors of gaff tape at church. I can just like to keep our mics separate. We can just wrap them in different kind of tape.
I didn't know we cared so much about using. Do you make sure everyone has the same mic every week?
I try to.
Really?
Yeah, just not for yeah.
just to be sanitary?
Yeah,
so
just
you can have your own germs.
Do you think bacteria can live on this?
No. I think that
This is why I've had strep throat for like 10 weeks in a row.
I think that thing is only that's what it's for is for
It's a
bacteria.
bacteria cushion.
Yes.
All right, let's roll. Dude, I love the new Thunder jerseys. I know we
They're
saw them in
cool.
like
I think they're weird.
March.
Everyone keeps saying they're cool, and I think I'm the only one who doesn't like
What
them.
don't you like about them?
They look like little kid Indian
racist.
illustrations.
Racist.
Sorry, Native American.
I can't say that on the pod.
Oh, you got muted already.
Pod hadn't even started. Wow.
Now Andrew's just muting opinions. he doesn't
Tribal,
like.
tribal,
right. This is-
tribal. Tribal is the word. They look like little kid tribal
Wow.
jerseys.
Oh. Wow, you're digging a hole deeper.
I love
Wow.
those city editions, man. Like just
Yeah,
the
they're
idea
really
is so
cool.
cool.
But isn't everyone else's way cooler than ours?
Valid. Like Denver's new ones are awesome. Philadelphia's
Chicago's
are
is cool.
fantastic. All right.
I like them.
I think you're wrong.
Indiana's normal uniforms have really grown on me.
With the circle.
Yeah, I
Man.
think they're so cool.
Hey, I'll save it for the pod, man.
Okay, we can talk.
Who's looky digging?
We're gonna start
All right,
working.
you guys
We're gonna
ready?
start working.
Who's
yeah.
dicky looking?
Here we go. All right.
Those are so cool.
The
wolves,
man,
man.
are fire.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Those are toad.
Prince
they-
themed.
Are
which
they
is also cool.
pink?
They are pink. I'm assuming that's purple, actually.
Purple.
See, those are cool, man.
I don't get it.
Purple, everything is going to be.
I wish they would have just done a whole color album.
That would be awesome.
Magenta.
But it's the same song, just with
Right.
different words.
An A.
Blue.
I get
We
green
never did that.
when I turn out the lights.
Maybe I am. just,
Cyan
those are
is
cool.
like red, but not quite. All right, you guys ready? How did we not think of this earlier? I'm sure people have thought of this, but how can this be the first time I've thought
I
of this?
don't think anyone's ever thought about this specific thing.
Maroon hemorrhaging pink at night.
Cause green gets me high as a kite.
That one's true. That's
right.
actually
All right, here we go.
Yeah, that's a little weedy.
yeah. I thought about this before you start the pod. I thought about this on the way over here. Just get where when people are like, that's some dank ass weed. If someone like doesn't know how to phrase it properly, so they're like, that's some dank ass weed. They're like, this is some expensive ass coffee.
Yes, I thought that's
Like emphasizing the wrong word.
Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
thinking about all these different things on the way over here. That's
Your brain just. I literally
get
get
confused.
confused.
This is some good ass steak.
Yeah.
This is some good ass steak.
All right, let's do this.
I'm Stephen Adams. This is Down to Doug. I'm miffed and peeved. That's not the words. What do I say?
Hello, I'm Alex Abrines. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm about to dunk. I'm not miffed and piffed. Hello, I'm Alex Abrines. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm down to dunk.
I'm Stephen Adams. I'm not miffed and peeved. I am down to dunk. Yo, this PG and I'm down to dunk.
Good morning and welcome to episode 6. Higher, louder, 100 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on CLNS Media, DailyThunder.com, radio, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, anywhere you subscribe to your podcast. I am joined this morning by Andrew,
Oh, slam through.
Taylor,
Pink, it's my new obsession. Pink, it's not even a question. Pink on the lips of your lover.
This is going a long time.
Because pink is the slam through.
Pink is the slam through. It's
and
the best you've ever
Jay.
It's Jake.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, it's good to be back.
done. Thunder
I missed last week.
I know, Jay.
which
We
is
miss
good.
you so much.
I missed, and then they win. So
See ya.
Buckle up for this next week.
Buckle up for tonight.
Yeah.
Against the Zards.
The Zards. The
Waiting
Dwight
for
Howard.
tonight.
The return of
The
Dwight.
Dwight Howard Zards.
The Dwight House.
Yeah, as if a team could get more dysfunctional.
Dwight Howard is the weirdest guy on the planet.
No.
There, I said it.
And I think he's being sponsored by the Grinch movie for
What?
Halloween. He dressed as the Grinch after that game. I think he's
No,
being
no, no.
sponsored.
That was
by the
JaVale
Grinch.
McGee. That was JaVale
Oh,
McGee.
really?
Yeah, it was JaVale McGee.
God dang it, Luke.
Luke's lukewarm takes.
Sorry, bros. I think he's being sponsored by the Grinch movie, though. Hey,
The Thunder have won 3 in a row. Woo! We call that a winning streak.
we're back on top, baby. We're on top of the world.
We're not to 500 quite yet.
Nope.
But
We'll never die.
3.
what is Luke doing?
I don't
today?
know.
He's already a nitro down. That's what he's doing. You know how much
Oh,
caffeine is
that's
in
true.
that?
Woo!
Okay.
The Thunder are 3 and
We'll see you in
4.
45 minutes, Luke.
The Thunder are 3 and 4. And they've played about roughly, I don't know, 4 good quarters from the beginning of the season till now. And somehow those 4 good quarters have won them 3 games. And so, I mean, we've talked a lot. I mean, and you and Alex talked a lot about the Clippers game. And so Taylor, you have any thoughts on the Clippers game?
On the Clippers game?
Yeah.
No, just not. It was 2 completely different teams. So
Yeah.
it kind of frustrated me. It gave me hope, but it also frustrated me because if you can just play hard on, it was clearly like, oh, they play hard on defense and then fast break points happen. Players are feeling confident because they just did some. They're turned up from doing something on defense, and now they can hit on offense. Just do that every time.
Yeah, I know. Maybe after
Just
the whole
try
game.
hard on defense every time.
In the third quarter, this is what I thought was weird. I think maybe their activity was a little more. They felt frantic in a good way to start the third quarter. And Ferguson was the one that I looked at the most. And Grant, I thought Jeremy was fantastic.
They were both really good in that game. As
so-
opposed to last night.
So how did they? Yeah, both of them. Well, Grant was okay.
They looked.
He was okay. He didn't play that much last night, though.
No,
he
he
only
hit
played
a
25
huge
minutes.
3 in the corner though.
Big time 3.
Big time. Big time. So here's my question though. So how did they?
big.
They were trying to play defense. It was not as good or crisp in the first half, which maybe answers my question. But being as active as they were in the third quarter, yet they did not foul as much as the game had been going, especially in the first half. So what? I mean, you have any sort of idea what changed? I couldn't really put a.
I think some of it was the officiating change. I thought they just communicated better.
The help came way quicker in that third quarter. Also, they kept their hands up. I mean, how many deflections were they getting and how many errant passes were there or passes they wanted to make, but they decided to turn and pass somewhere else because everyone's hands were just waving the whole time everywhere.
Steven and Paul George were awful in the first half.
Yeah.
They were both
man.
terrible. Their energy was bad. They're missing everything. Steve's defense was bad in the first half.
Steve would like have a guard running alongside him and go up for a layup, and Steve would still miss the block. I didn't understand that.
Well,
He's not a natural shot blocker though. Like especially watching the contrast between Noel and him. Like Noel, one of the more natural guys in the NBA at blocking shots. Like he's really, really gifted at that. It's
although
like
Steve did have that block.
he did had a killer block
on Kemba last night.
Man,
That was awesome.
not trying to change to last night's game necessarily, but I guess we can move on because we've talked about Clippers for a while, but not us, but it's been the whole week. The defense they had on Kemba was really, really good.
It was. He made some freaking tough shots.
Yeah, and the ones he came out and he had that run in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And really, other than that, it was pretty limited.
It was. You're right.
And you know who the most impressive defender on Kemba Walker for the whole game was? Dennis Schroeder, in my opinion.
Interesting.
I thought you watched it, especially in the fourth quarter. Like he took it upon himself. He was fighting over screens, which we almost never do, because they kept trying to switch Kemba onto Alex. And Schroeder just was trying his hardest to not let that happen. And Alex actually stayed as well as, there's like Alex, we grade on a curve on defense, a little bit. Like it's not crazy, but he did. He stayed in front.
Yeah.
He had a couple bad fouls, but last night was most definitely the game of Alex Abrines.
I'm about to dunk.
And we do have a question just to set us up for talking about the Hornets game from @Landry. Franks said, over under how many times we hear the I'm about to dunk clip this morning.
I'm about to dunk.
All the times, because Alex Abrines was
good, and good is Alex Abrines.
Good as understating it. He was incredible. He's the reason they won the game last night.
Career high 25 points. He had 2 rebounds. He didn't record another stat, but he's 5 of 10 from 3. He's up to 36% from 3 on the season. I think he started the game in the low 30s. He was awesome. And not only shot making, because no one else could hit a shot. Paul George was 0 of 10 from 3, 4 of 20 from the field, 11 points, 10 rebounds. He stayed engaged on the defensive end and ended up with 3 blocks and 4 steals. So that was good. But he didn't make a shot in the second half. And if Paul George doesn't make a shot in the second half, typically the Thunder are screwed. And so Abrines was so key, not only in the shot making department, but opening up the lane for everybody else. Because if he's not on the wing, Schroeder doesn't get in the lane for his scoop shot as much as he did last night.
Schroeder was really good as well last night.
He was
just
awesome.
a caveat. But
yeah,
Abrines, I think the other thing that's underrated about Abrines, especially you watched it last night, is the tendency is just to think he just stands at the 3-point line, right? Like, and that's all he does. But one of my favorite things he's really done more this year is driving.
Yeah, he puts the ball on the floor.
Yeah, he'll put the ball on the floor, get
close
the lane.
out.
Like, and I think the Thunder, I think they trust him as a ball handler a little bit as well. Wasn't there a time? Am I losing my mind? I think there was a time where he ran the point guard.
You are correct.
Accidentally last year.
He's been like the quote unquote backup point guard when they've needed him to be.
Yeah.
But like he's not. I mean, obviously, he's not even a combo guard
for sure. But it does make you think that the Thunder at least trust the way he can.
Yeah, he's one of the most skilled guys on the team
for sure.
I mean, no question, because it's typically you just have a ton of like raw athletes that can just athlete and play defense, but can't dribble, and you have really Abrines is the only guy on the team that's just like a basketball player.
Yeah, and they're for real, and he's intelligent. I mean, he knows where to be defensively. Like I said, there were a few bad fouls. He fouled I think it was Malik Monk on a 3-point shot that he ended up making. Those early.
Yes.
A couple at the rim that he could have, and it's hard. Like, what do? You want to contest the shot.
Yeah.
And the Thunder worked really hard. And you can see they're starting this evolution on their own. Like, okay, we were fouling way too freaking much. And so they tried all the time to go straight up.
Yeah,
at the rim.
And they had 21 fouls last night.
Yeah,
that's
which
is 6 less than their average. So that's
is nuts. That 27's their average. But they were working really hard to just go straight up at the rim, and Alex did as well. And they're, Alex is never going to be an A+ defender, but if he can be a manageable player, there's no reason. Just like anybody else in the NBA, every other team has guys that they're hiding, right?
Yeah, and
you don't need to hide Alex necessarily.
No,
but you can figure out ways to keep him on the floor. And he ended up. What were his minutes last night?
30 minutes. Wow. His progression reminds me a little bit of JJ Redick with Orlando. Remember, like JJ Redick could not get off the bench for Orlando for like the first 2 seasons because Stan Van Gundy didn't trust him, and he just basically was like, "We're not going to play until you can play defense." And it feels the same with Alex. That the Thunder were just like, "We're not going to trust you. We're not going to play you consistent minutes until you can get off. We know what you're doing. You weirdos."
Hey guys, we're here trying to do a basketball podcast. If you had any basketball input you wanted to throw in,
I have one. But yeah, I thought his progression was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
and because now it seems like they are fully trusting him to play minutes because he's played 20+ minutes almost every single game. I think he's had maybe one at 15. But he's been really good and so vital to this team's success because he's really the only shooter on this team.
Right. Like the only shooter.
The only one.
I think it has been nice to see. It does most definitely feel like this is the first time that the Thunder have trusted him for consistency, right? Like consistent minutes. And we were nervous at the beginning of the season. Like, is he going to get
is he going to get buried
relegated?
Again?
Like, is Ray Felton going to get these minutes? Which Ray hasn't played.
He doesn't play.
Yeah, which is
not even garbage time.
Which is odd.
I think they probably ask him. Because they did that.
Hey, you want to go in? No, I'm good.
They did that with Nick Collison.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you have any desire to play in this basketball game? He's like, nope.
But yeah, I mean, Alex was incredible. It can't be understated how important he was last night. And they were looking for him, and the 3-pointer's not surprising. 5 of 10. I mean, that's a great night, obviously.
Yeah.
And it felt like Alex has always been that guy that where every time it goes up, you're assuming it's going in, right? Like,
yeah.
You just assume. And so there's a couple he missed in the fourth quarter that could have just blown the game apart.
They were wide open, right.
He missed 2, and then Paul George missed 1 as well. But the other thing that I thought was impressive is he finishes really well at the rim.
Yeah.
Like there were a couple fast breaks that he got contested layups and he made them. And I don't know, man. And then you had Russ, who was like the worst version of himself for the first 3 quarters of the game. Like out of control, couldn't make anything. And then in the fourth quarter, and this is why you keep shooting.
Yeah.
Like you keep shooting because eventually they start going in, I guess, unless you're Paul George. But he does have a foot that he can't feel, which is a weird development over the course of the night. But
no,
not cool. But you looked at Russ, and he kept shooting, and all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, it was like, oh, this is Russ.
He caught fire.
He made everything he took, and then
just some awful shots that he made.
Awful. And
Just
then
so
there was one where it's like, so he's literally posting up, and Alex Abrines is standing by himself, and he's posting up, and a guy is helping off, like double teamed, doesn't even look at Alex, and turns around and shoots a shot, and it bounces like 3 times off the rim, goes like 4 feet in the air, and then bounces through.
I'm holding my infant son, like swaying around my living room, yelling, "Look at Alex! Look at Alex! Look at Alex! Look at Alex!" And then he just shoots the ball. I'm just like, "Come on!" And then it goes in. It's like, "Okay, all right, fine."
Yeah, it was crazy. But
Russ and Kemba were probably having a competition who can make the toughest mid-range jump shot.
Kemba like made like you said, he made an appearance in the third quarter because the Thunder were down 6 heading into half, and then going into the third quarter, the Hornets just were lit on fire.
Yeah, they opened up the third
terrible.
quarter on like a 15-2 run or something.
They were down 19 in the third quarter. It just felt like, okay. It felt a little bit like the Kings game did, where you were just like, oh boy. But they were able to actually make the comeback.
Yeah.
And they, you know what? Credit to Billy Donovan.
Yep.
For making the adjustments. He played Paul George at the 4, went small. And
Changed the game.
That changed everything. Because then you have literally 4 guys and Steve that can put the ball on the floor, that are a threat to score. And that, I mean, Schroeder hit 2 threes last night.
Yeah, and he shot with a ton of confidence last night.
He did. He was awesome. He was 7 of 15.
I thought he defended really well, like I mentioned as well.
Yeah.
I just thought Schroeder, it was probably Schroeder's best all-around game.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the Thunder bench outscored the starters by 1 point last night.
I was just going to bring up last year, if Paul George goes 4 of 20, you guys mentioned this. Paul George goes 4 of 20. No one's making up for that.
No.
On our bench, Melo's not making up for that ever.
Yeah.
No one else is making up for that. This is so weird that
you lose that game.
Yeah. We have a bench that, they can score.
What's funny about it is the only game last year where I remember the bench winning a game was also against Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, really?
Ray Felton
it was the Ray
Felton
Oh,
game.
yeah.
He went out for like 25 or something like that. But yeah, it was an encouraging game in a lot of ways. I feel like hopefully this isn't just something we can put on repeat for the rest of the season where it's like they're eventually going to make shots. Patrick Patterson, what did he play? Like 7 minutes?
He only played 7 minutes. Yeah, because the whole first half, I thought, man, the defensive effort is there.
Oh, yeah.
And they're taking good shots, but they just can't make anything. Paul George just couldn't make anything. And that dead foot is obviously a part of that. I don't know.
I have something to say.
I have something to say about that.
Hey,
too.
take it. Take the mic, guys.
Okay.
Why do we only hear about these excuses Paul George has after he plays terribly?
Yes.
It's like he has a terrible game.
So what do you want to happen?
Tight forearm.
We want to know before.
Yeah,
Say it before.
let us know.
How come this always comes after the game?
At a terrible game. I've got a palsy. It's a dead foot.
I got a forearm tightness.
But he legitimately did and had a ton of fluid drained off his elbow.
He's got fluid.
If his foot is numb, why is he playing 40 minutes?
Yeah.
And why doesn't it affect any other part of his game except his shooting? Because he was still plus 9.
Point taken. Valid.
I don't know what to tell you about that. But
I just appreciate something.
I mean,
from like the
shooting
team,
is more of a balance thing than a lot of these other things are.
I would just appreciate like something like, hey, Paul George, he's not at 100%.
I'll be sure to let the team know that you need to know more things.
Well, it's just weird. Like he has a terrible game, and then he's like, "Oh, I have a dead foot."
He really didn't. I mean, he had a terrible shooting game. He did not have a terrible game.
No, he was plus 9 on
plus
the game.
9 on the night. He had a double-double. He had 4 steals, 3 blocks, 3 assists. Like he contributed a ton to the team last night besides scoring. And you know what? Like he wasn't trying to take shots toward the end of the game. And so he let Russell take over. He let Abrines take shots. He was passing to Abrines.
Yeah.
2 open shots. Like he contributed to winning last night
that
on a
stuff still
different level.
It makes me nervous though, man, because you saw a few times, and it's the balance, right?
Yeah.
You need Paul George to be a 3-point shooter. Truthfully.
You do.
Like, you need him to make it. And so when he starts hesitating because he's not making them, it makes me not.
He took 10.
I know. But there were times in the fourth, especially, where it was like you could see him hesitating, and then he'd dribble kind of in and back. Paul George, he's not making shots the way you want him to.
Yeah.
But, man, he has been a plus in every other way.
Yeah.
He's been locked in defensively as much as he has been since he's been here.
Yeah.
I don't sit around and get like last year. There were points where I was like, what?
Yeah, he's not. Where is it?
Yeah,
Why has he been on the
I
court?
thought this
and I
guy
haven't
was
seen-
supposed
yeah.
to be like incredible. Where is he? But
Yeah.
he has been fantastic in every other way, making his free throws.
He's taking ownership of this team.
Yeah,
It really
in a
is. You
lot
can
of
feel
ways.
that. It's much different. And Steve had a very quiet game as far as stats, but I there was not a point in the game where I felt like Adams wasn't.
They don't win that game without him
For
because of the offensive rebounding and the tap outs that he had. You just do not win that game.
Adams also would have had 20 points in the first half if he made anything at the rim.
He missed.
He missed
everything.
6 shots that were like, I'm not kidding, like he could have touched the rim when he was touching the ball. Like
It's because he had to think of that monster, Cody Zeller.
Cody
Cody
Zeller
Zeller had the block.
He had the block of the night last night.
Did he
And
really?
it really could have been like a game-changing block because the Thunder on the fast break.
Well, yeah, so-
two
so-
on one.
That's right before that. Who was it? Was it Grant? Somebody blocked Charlotte. And then
Yes.
that started the fast break.
Yes,
And then Dennis Schroeder was going for a layup, and Tyler Zeller,
Cody.
God, how are there so many of them?
Lots of Zellers.
I know. He came up and smashed the ball. Like
He
it
did.
like
Out of nowhere.
volleyball spike. And
Yeah.
it got back into play too, you know.
Yeah, it
which is
came
the
back
better
into
way to do it.
play, and then Charlotte scores on the ensuing possession. So, and it would have put the Thunder up 5, I think, but then it ended up being a 1-possession game again. And so it could have been a game-changing block. He was actually pretty awesome.
What'd you think of Ferguson?
I think he needs to be benched, is what I think.
Even with he has been
So-
disruptive.
Yeah, he's
on
he's a
defense.
disruptive defender, but he won't shoot the basketball.
I know.
You can't play.
I
You just
wanna-
cannot continue to play if you're not going to shoot the basketball.
How many? I bet. Okay, over under 8 shots he's taken this season.
Oh, I mean, I know what the number is already. I've already.
Do you
looked all
really
this
know
up.
what it is?
Yeah,
So are you saying over or under?
it's like way over that. But
It is.
It does not feel that way. That it is saying something.
Wait, how many? He's had so many games
he's
where
played 7 games. He's taken 24 shots on the season.
24.
But listen,
It's too much.
Was that 20 layups?
That's basically just over 3.
He
a game.
had so just-
Abrines has played 2 more minutes than him on the season.
hey,
and
that's good.
Abrines has taken 46 shots.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Andre Robertson, that's fine to take 24 shots. But if you're put in the game and it will kill the team. It will kill the team if you're not an elite defender. And he's not an elite defender. Like he's good, like he's pretty good. And I don't know. I just feel like we just keep landing on like, well, if Ferguson just does anything well, then like yippee,
Yeah.
like he's in the starting lineup.
That's how the
like,
Clippers game felt to me. Was he and you and Alex talked about this. You could see every single one of his stats. You can think about
Yeah.
what happened,
And
where
he
they
was-
came from, and you shouldn't be able to do that.
like the bar
That doesn't mean that he's good.
the bar is
Right,
just
yeah.
so low. Like if
Yeah.
this team wants to be good, they'll start Alex Abrines. If they're just more content with developing Terrence Ferguson, they'll start him. But it prioritizes Terrence Ferguson's development over the team winning if they start him.
Yeah, but what you did see last night that I find some encouragement from,
Yeah.
especially in the second half, Ferguson played about the first 3 minutes,
Yeah.
and then they
pulled him.
And
Yeah.
Alex played.
He played 17 minutes last night. Alex
Yeah.
played 30. I mean, like those things are good, but still, when you don't start somebody, you automatically limit the amount of minutes they can play
Right.
on a nightly basis. And so I just think that this
Give it a
team-
shot. Why
this
not?
team is just going to be better with Alex Abrines on the court. It's going to give that starting unit
So
and,
much
and you can
space.
still stagger the shooters. Like you can still pull Abrines early.
You just said shooters as in plural.
I'm talking about, well, I mean, I think the reason that Abrines doesn't start is because you want to have Paul George in the starting lineup and you want to have Abrines with
Since
Schro-
you have
with-
2
with
guys that
Schroeder.
can shoot the basketball,
Yeah.
you've got to have them on the court at the
You
same
can
different
you
times.
can pull Paul early, you can pull Alex early, and then bring him back with
Patterson
the second.
regressed too last night. Like not regressed.
Well, he
but it
didn't
was like
play
he,
that
Well,
much.
He didn't,
yeah,
but
he
he
didn't
jumped
have-
in. He had 2 wide open threes in the first half. And both
Mm.
of them.
Well,
Didn't
I
really
mean,
feel like they were going
and
down.
so, I mean,
Which
he's-
happens.
He's another guy, and he's a guy that you have to guard still. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really what matters.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Is
valid.
do you have to guard somebody on the perimeter? They have like 3 or 4 guys, period, that you feel like you have to guard on the perimeter.
You know who I still thought was really good last night?
Hami.
Hami had.
Has he had a bad? Has he
No.
had a bad? game?
He has taken 4 more shots than Terrence Ferguson.
and they haven't been bad.
Many less minutes, right?
Ferguson has about twice the amount of minutes that Diallo does. Diallo missed a whole game.
Diallo's 50% from the field so far.
Diallo's good.
He is.
He's
he had-
legitimately good.
He had 2 dunks, one of them in traffic last night. That was so nice. He's good, man. I love the way he plays.
Tries hard on defense too. It's like if you just have to try hard on defense to get that starting spot.
Yeah. Well, and Diallo,
Hami's the guy, man. Next year,
he is.
like Hami will be the guy. That's
Diallo
why I'm like,
and
if you're going to
Ferguson-
develop, man.
Yeah. Diallo and Ferguson are about the same level of athlete, right?
Yeah.
Diallo has 5 dunks on the season. Ferguson has 1. And that's just like
That's crazy.
knowing how to use your athleticism, knowing how to get that into the game. And Ferguson just isn't there yet. And that's okay. Like, it's all okay. But I'm just tired of having to lower the bar for him.
I also wonder, like,
And
I
just
think,
saying, like, well, if he just does anything
Yeah.
good, then like we can be happy that he's in the starting lineup. Well, we have 2 guys that are better than him coming off the bench. 2.
I also do wonder.
I just think that if they want to be a good team, they need to start Abrines.
Yeah.
I just wonder if you flip flopped the minutes, like you let Alex start and let Ferguson try to get some of those backup shooting. I wonder if, like, you can obviously, there's something that Ferguson is feeling that is throwing his game off. Like,
Yeah.
we've seen him make shots
He's made shots.
in NBA games.
He has.
So I think what's happening, like, I wonder if you just took him off of the starting, which reduces the amount of pressure somebody plays with. If they just come in, shoot the ball, like whatever, and let Alex be the starter, like that's you want to know what the recurring frustration that I have with Billy Donovan is that, like, dude, take the opportunity to be different with your lineups, like you did with Grant, which has worked now, and it should hopefully change back when Dre comes back, because that is.
That's
An atrocious offensive lineup.
I know.
At that point.
I don't know what that looks like.
But I just think, like, give it a shot, man. What are you going to lose if you switch tonight and you start Alex and you put Ferguson on the bench and then you bring Ferguson in and Diallo? Like,
You
Plus,
just get better. That's what you do.
and if you start going to more lineups where you have 4 wing players, which is something they should have been doing from the beginning of the season,
right.
like, I don't know. I just think you have more chance to play these guys that you have plenty of, and then let either Grant, Adams, or Noel be your big.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense the way. Anyway, I don't know. That's my biggest consistent frustration with Billy Donovan. It's like, be creative, please.
Well, he did last night.
He did, yeah. And look, like, the result, like, the proof was
He was good
in-
last night. Billy Donovan coached a really great game last night.
Yes,
He coached them to a win,
he really did. It was great.
which was good to see.
It was fun. Like, that was the end of that game. I was like,
Like,
Yeah.
hire Billy. Hashtag hire Billy.
Hire him already. So Noel had 9 minutes last night, and he was fine.
he was fine. It's just ever since the Suns game where he was incredible,
He was really good. Yeah.
he was okay against Clippers.
He's just more. He and Grant are such a wonky fit that it's really tough to have them both on the. It's hard to have them both on the court at the same time.
Right.
I think that's partially the reason that he put Grant in the starting lineup too, because Noel and Patterson are a fine match on the court theoretically.
Yep.
And it just kind of makes his team fit better. And that's why I think, like, if you switch those two, like, why don't you just switch Ferguson and Abrines too? Because you're just putting the shooting on a different place on the floor.
Yeah.
And a guy that's, like, good probably every night, and at least contributing every night. I don't know.
I don't know. How long until Dre's back? Christmas?
Forever.
New Year's Eve?
I'm predicting January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what
But
I
that's-
predict?
What do you predict?
I predict that if you want to have a Good Friday, you need to put an Anthem beer in your hand. Because guess what? They're great.
I'm
Anthem,
about to dunk.
Anthem beers, the best. They got their tap room downtown. They've got unique beers you can only get there. They've got live music on Fridays. You absolutely need to check it out, or go to your neighborhood beer cellar and buy an Anthem. Right
Walmart,
now, with the weather
Target,
changing,
Walmart.
Ouroboros. It's a dark beer.
It is out.
Thank you.
Not on cue.
Luke.
Hey,
Podcast. Yeah.
but Anthem takes beers.
Where they can
You can't get it at Walmart. You can get a Walmart cans, refrigerated now. Luke, snap. Luke, tell me about the tap room.
Now I can. It's great. It really is a very, very cool place. I mentioned about those specialty beers. They try different mixes. They age things in different barrels that give things a unique flavor, and they're available there. And they're very, very, very good. I always make it a point when I'm at the tap room to try out the different thing that they're trying that week, because it's the only place to get it.
Yeah, you can get them in varying sizes too. So if there's something you're not sure about, you don't have to get a full pint. You can get just a little.
You get a little taster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the staff there is great, and they'll help you find a beer that you like and that you know that you're going to be happy with. And if you find one that you love, you can get a growler of it.
You can get a growler of it. You can buy it in the can.
Yeah.
Their hours are extended on Fridays and Saturdays. They're open till 10 o'clock. They got live music on Fridays.
That's right.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so check them out. Support those that support us. Gentlemen, before we get
Hey, do you drink them in frosted mugs or just
Oh, yeah, the frostiest.
normal glasses?
It just depends.
Okay.
It just depends on how I'm feeling.
All right.
But guys, before we jump into our Twitter questions, we're going to do Say What Stats of the Week.
Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? 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 I can't read lips, Jay. Say what? Stat of the week.
Guys, which NBA stat this week made you say what?
The Nuggets are off to their best start since 1976-77 season.
I saw that.
7-1.
Does that make you
on the
say what
season.
though? Because
Yeah.
I mean,
some good Nuggets teams.
7-1 though. Nuggies.
For there to be the first best start in
Who's their
50
one loss
years.
to?
Who is that one loss to?
The
Pelicans, I believe.
think.
Oh, Pelicans. Yeah, man. There were some good mellow teams.
There were some good. And one of them made it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
They've also been good before that too.
true.
Not as good in 50 years.
Not as good as this team though. Jokic is okay.
They're off to just a good start though.
Well, in the NBA has been tailor made for them, right? Like, hey, you know, it doesn't
Ish.
matter anymore. Defense.
I mean, they beat the Bulls in overtime the other night.
Yeah,
True.
So they're not crushing everybody. Like they're a good team. This is a good team, but it's like 7-1 is like they're just off to a great
Hey, but
start.
they're winning when it counts.
There's a whole ton of great stats this week. I chose to focus in on the one and only Derrick Rose.
Oh wow.
Derrick Rose against the Jazz in a 128-125 victory. 19 of 31 from the field, 4 of 7 from the three-point line, 8 of 11 from the free throw line. 50 points.
50.
50 set a
50 piece.
career high
That's insane.
against the Jazz. And I watched the replay, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like, he was pretty emotional. Like, the team was super excited for him to get going. And, like, they had to play because it was a close game at the end. They had to play where they drew up a out-of-bounds play.
Yeah.
And they were looking for Rose. Nobody else, which is what you should do. I mean, that's not surprising, but it is a little bit because it's still Derrick Rose.
Right. He's on a minimum deal.
Right.
It's like-
he hasn't
it's
been
bizarre.
good in 5 years.
Like all the Knicks people are just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
And all the Cavs players or
Right.
all the, yeah,
It's
whatever other team.
It's crazy. Andrew Wiggins posted about him on Instagram afterwards. He posted living legend.
Oh my gosh. Well, and it's also so Jimmy Butler set out that game as well, which that never-ending saga of insanity.
Did he? Okay, he decided to sit out that game before. He wasn't injured, right? He was saying like, okay, I'm not going to play anymore.
General soreness.
Yeah.
Is what they say.
Genital soreness, but we all know what the real thing
That's
was.
actually what it is.
It's genital soreness.
My say what stat is a rookie from the Chicago Bulls, Wendell Carter Jr.
Wendell.
He had the other night 25 points, 3 blocks, 3 steals, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. He was awesome.
He's a rookie.
And he's a rookie.
He's awesome. This rookie class, man's been good.
This rookie class has been really good.
Yeah.
Another say what stat of the week. I'm going to read you just a stat line. You tell me who it was.
Domas.
Oh, God.
14 of 24 from the three-point line. Klay Thompson, 14 for 24 from the three-point line, 52 points. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm not impressed with anything the Warriors do.
Yeah, thank you. Good. Screw them.
Just to be honest.
Domas did he go 12 of 12 or was it 11?
He was 12 of 12 from the field, 30 points, 3 assists, 9 boards, 3 offensive, 2 blocks,
6 fouls
in 21 minutes off the bench.
He fouled out.
In 21, he did.
He really did.
He did foul out. That's why he had 21 minutes.
Domas, man.
And he's like kind of better than Miles Turner, which is weird.
Yeah, Miles has not had the start to the season that
In that same game, Miles Turner 4 of 10 from the field, 8 points, 4 assists, 2 blocks.
You do want Miles Turner. It is that point in Miles Turner's career where it's like,
this should be it.
you need to be there
Let's
now.
do something.
Yeah.
And they paid him this offseason, right?
They paid him.
Yeah.
He got in shape. He needs to be there.
Yeah.
My last say what's out of the week. Luke, do you have
got
one?
so many?
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
I got one. It's Carmelo being crappy, and that he
Did
had.
that make any of us say what though? It made us say.
It just make it's a It's like
duh. It's a say duh.
but I like it. He's had last game. He had 8 points on 2 of 12, and 0 of 2 from 3-point. He made 4 3 throws.
Well, me?
And he's just their team.
They are going to lose to the Nets tonight in Brooklyn.
Well, me?
Yes, you.
You know what they are? Swaggerless.
Well, me?
Yes, you. Yes, Mello.
I don't want to talk about the Rockets because I like saving that just for Wednesdays. The Andrew Alex hate of the
Where I
Rockets.
just get
is
to
like-
read
so
their
great.
where I get to read
Yeah,
their
you
stats
should
so
have, like,
slowly
your
to him.
Your Rockets moment.
I mean, they're gonna go on some kind of
They're
winning
gonna be
streak at
like
some point.
when
They're
James
gonna be
Harden
good.
gets back, they'll be better. But still, like
They're not gonna be like last year.
No, because everybody went. We started the summer saying, "I can't believe they lost to Ariza and Mbamute. That's a huge loss." Then somehow, and we all know how.
Yeah.
Daryl Morey steered the entire media to believe that those guys weren't that impactful. That James Ennis and Carmelo Anthony and Michael Carter Williams could come in and do the same thing that they did,
And Brandon Knight.
and
And
Marquise Chris.
Marquise
Like
Chris.
he convinced everybody that they're going to be just as
5
good.
guys that haven't been good their entire
Right.
like the last 3 years.
And
all
maybe
of a sudden.
he convinced people that they could maybe even be better. And we were all right. Everybody was right at the beginning of the summer. Everybody knew. And then everybody knew when they traded for Melo, like, oh, or when they signed him, like, okay, like he hasn't been good in a while. But maybe, I mean, he's relationship with Chris Paul. Like, where do you think that stuff is coming from?
Yes, and also, do you know who's obviously and duhly not sticking to the plan? Mello.
Duh.
He can't. It's like he actually cannot not play like he plays.
It's because he's been that player for 16 years.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So,
we can stop now.
So here's a hard question. What does Melo do next year?
It is interesting.
I don't know.
Like,
'Cause
did
if
the
you're-
Magic sign him and he just goes down there and goes back to doing whatever he wants to do? And
He will have to take a small role for a team. If he plays 10 minutes off the bench,
I'm done with
somebody-
that argument.
You know
man.
what's
That's not
sad?
happening.
But
know
you know
it's
what's
not-
sad? He could prolong his career if he just decided to come off the bench at the start of this season.
If he would do the Vince Carter,
Is he still not? Is he starting on the?
Yeah.
well, he is with
While
the
Harden's
injuries.
out, okay.
Yeah, with the injuries he is. But
Oh, he'll be happy to go to the bench after everyone's healthy. Yeah, there'll be
Yeah,
no
no
problem,
problem.
with that.
right,
He won't
'cause
cause a
he's-
stink.
I mean, the way it's been described is that he's tolerating the role.
Mhm.
That's
he
what you
has.
want. It's what you want. Hey, I'm gonna barely be okay with this.
Yeah, and we've all seen Mike D'Antoni and Carmelo on the same team before.
This is gonna be bad, man. It's already
it's going
bad.
really
I
bad.
love this.
Right. I mean, you just had to know. I mean, you're a team that plays modern basketball. You defend well, you switch, you play a switching system. First of all, their coach that ran that switching system left. Then you bring in Melo, an MCW who probably shouldn't be in the NBA. Like, he's really bad. And then you expect James Ennis, who's never had more than I don't even know what his longest contract is. It feels like it's only been a 1-year minimum deal everywhere he's gone. And you think that guy's going to replace Trevor Ariza, who got $15 million this summer? It's just insane.
And was your 2 best perimeter defenders are gone.
They're
Chris
gone.
Paul is not a good perimeter defender anymore, like he used to be. He's old Nuggets.
Yeah, and you're depending on
He's
PJ
old
Tucker
nugs,
to
man.
carry a ton of the load defensively. Like,
Yeah.
man, We said it. You're right. Like we all said it this summer.
We did it.
We were right about something.
But then everybody swung to the other side and was like, "Oh,
And everyone,
it's not that big a deal."
somehow the Melo conversation turned into OKC sucks.
Oh,
That's why. No, Melo doesn't suck.
No, it's not
OKC's just bad. He'll be better in
right.
on the Rockets.
Russ is terrible.
Yeah,
Russ is terrible. Why would Melo be good around him?
he'll be way better.
But going to the Rockets subreddit and just enjoy that. Just sweet misery.
Just drink it in.
I have one more say what stat of the week that I
is nice.
was listening to the Zach Lowe podcast with Adrian Wojnarowski, and the luckiest guy of the season so far has got to be Tyronn Lue. $15 million left on his contract, and he got relieved of his duties of coaching the horrendous Cleveland Cavaliers.
Pretty sweet.
It is pretty sweet. Would you take $15 million to not coach that team? Yup.
Yeah. I'd do it right now.
You know what he's doing?
If
Just
they're
sitting around.
offering.
He's just sitting around.
And now Larry Drew's like, I'm not coaching this team for my contract. You better
Right.
pay me.
And I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Larry Drew is everyone's hero.
This
right
guy
now.
got $15 million to not coach, and you're only paying me $1 million to coach.
He's like, okay, he's like, I need more money because
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Hey, the most reluctant coach in the NBA did win a game for the Cavs.
Yeah.
And Kevin Love's out for at least a month. Like it's fire sale time, man. They're gonna start
done.
blowing this team up. And here, going back to takes that I feel like I made that I shouldn't have, is I thought the Cavs would be a relatively decent team in
Yeah.
the horrid East, and they are
Yeah.
not.
I kind of thought they might be like
I kind of did too.
at the end of East
I think
playoffs or something.
like Kevin Love's good,
Yeah.
but
George
they're not.
Hill, Rodney
Yeah.
Hood.
But they're just not playing. They're veterans.
I know, which is fine. Which I
Yeah.
like. I like that. Like
That is the better strategy
Yeah.
for the season.
just don't sign. Which they signed him to trade him, which is the other thing that Lowe talked about. But it's like this team just made no sense, and we all knew it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just to hang on to the asset. Ham and I talked about it.
Well, Golden
too.
State. How do we get JR on Golden State?
Buyout.
Ooh, yeah, that's about the only way.
If they bought him out and he signed with Golden State,
Corver and JR for Clay.
which is
I might
funny,
think
is
about
the
it.
money matches.
It does.
Those two
it'll work.
very average. I mean, I like both of those guys, but they're not. I mean, the money they pay those guys is worth what
Yeah.
real superstars make.
Did JR just get paid?
He's got like 2 years left on that contract.
Oh,
partially guaranteed next
okay.
year. 14 million this year, and then like I think
Ooh.
4 guaranteed.
And I
next
think
year.
Corver's got 7 and 7. If I'm not mistaken.
His is partially guaranteed too
Nice.
next season.
The Thunder need. Never mind.
Be great.
Guys, you know what else would be great? Answering some Twitter questions.
I'm about to dunk.
Our first Twitter question comes from @CG Stevens, who wants to know which third-year player who didn't have their option picked up will Presti target?
I feel like it's Dragon Bender. He was the top 4 pick in the draft. He's got a lot of length. He's a pretty decent athlete.
He did have that game last year against the Thunder too, where
killed the Thunder. He just feels like such a Thunder guy.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good though. Like, if you feel like you're a Thunder guy,
Hashim Thabit, Dion.
Dion didn't feel like a Thunder guy. That's why Dion worked out. I felt like
He was a Thunder guy by the end of everything.
yeah, but not coming in. Like if like the guys who you look at, you're like, yeah, he's gonna be a Thunder guy because he's only potential and has never really lived up to what everyone thought he was gonna be.
Yeah, that's Dion, baby. He's top 4 pick in the draft.
He's lived up to it, dude. And he's
Dion
oh
with
yeah,
the Cavs.
oh yeah.
He's fat now.
There's a power
is
struggle
fat now.
between Dion and Kyrie, man. You remember when they were fighting?
Yeah,
They were physically fighting each other. That's great.
Yeah, I think it's Bender all the way.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's move on to our next.
he's not gonna. I mean, he's not
Hopefully.
going after any of these guys.
In the summer,
Maybe.
that's what I think. No, I mean not now.
Now,
But-
are they unrestricted this summer? Is that what that is?
Yeah, like TLC
Yeah.
will be unrestricted because they declined his 4th-year option. Bender will be unrestricted.
I guess if I
TLC.
had to choose somebody there, but
I
think
mean,
the Thunder-
Nerlens Noel, another guy. I
Yeah.
think he's the 7th, 8th, 9th pick. One of those.
True.
Yeah, but he got to like actually show some stuff in the NBA. Like we knew, okay, he's
I mean,
been
kind
good
of,
in the
but
NBA.
like the past 2 years, like he hadn't.
You're right. Past 2 years, you're right.
Benderman.
Benderman.
Because Noel won't come back probably after this season.
Oh no.
Take that back.
Give me the dragon.
Guys, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from @BenElephantKing, who wants us to choose one for tomorrow's game based on Billy Donovan's past lineup choices. 1, Abrines starts. 2, Abrines plays 20 minutes. 3, Abrines plays 5 minutes, and he screams himself to sleep. That is Ben Affleck King. He screams himself to sleep.
I'm about to dunk.
Are we predicting what he will do or what
Yeah.
we want him to do? What he will do is play him 20 minutes.
Yeah,
plus
number
off
2
the
is
bench.
what will happen.
I'd love it if he'd start him. I've been saying it for forever.
He's not going to start him now. Ferguson is still going to start because he thinks Ferguson is a lockdown defender.
And he likes his hair.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
And
Billy
Beal.
Donovan still loves frantic defense. If you move your arms a lot and you
Yeah,
run all over the place,
right.
he thinks you're a great defender.
Yeah.
He loves his feet, the footwork.
If you just move a lot. If you're just
we got to get him on the floor.
Yeah,
Look
if
at
you
him.
just like are young and you jiggle around, he's like, you guys only look at stats, but he's doing a lot of stuff out there. He's moving his arms back and forth. He's moving his legs in and out.
Ferguson's
just doing jumping jacks up and down the floor.
Ferguson's doing the worm, and he's like, "This is it.
Look at
what I
this
want."
is defense, guys.
Look at that guy.
Wow. The art of distraction.
Yeah, Fergus, he's fine. Like he's a fine player, but when you have an actual good player on your bench, you should start him.
All right.
I'm about to dunk.
Let's move on to our next Twitter question, which comes from @NBA0435011151. Who wants to know, what do you think is Diallo's ceiling? Can he become an above average starter or something even more in the league?
I mean, his ceiling is a really tough thing to discuss at this point. We've seen him play 6 games. He's a great athlete. He's not afraid of anything. He could be a starter. He could be a starting level player. He's got a ways to go, obviously, to get there. But
I mean, just given his size, his confidence, and his talent, he could be a starter in the league.
He could be.
Could be a ceiling. That's all we know.
It all depends on his shooting. It all depends on if he can shoot the basketball.
Mhm.
And if he can, then he's a starting level player. If he's not, then he's a good energy guy off the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I do appreciate about him is that he shoots it.
When he's open.
Like he shoots it.
Right.
He got one in the corner last night and just without even hesitating, he just shot the
I
ball.
know. That's where I'm like with Ferguson, is he just doesn't now.
Yeah,
he
Diallo
did that
has-
last year. I mean, Ferguson did that last year. I just don't know what happened.
Diallo has a ton of confidence in himself, which is great.
He's
That's
awesome.
what you need. I think Diallo has potential to be a really good
Do you think
He-
it's a girl issue with
Ferguson. He's
Yeah.
about to have a baby. So maybe?
I think it's a maybe something's happening. Maybe something's going on. He's freaking out.
I think
there's real life stuff that tears down your confidence.
I think he's mentally
Weak.
I think he's just struggling, man. Like he knows that he's struggling. Like I can't get. Andrew sent us. Can you say this, or do you have to lose? Yeah. So the picture of Ferguson, you've talked about this.
I've talked about
He's
it.
just sitting in the locker room, like with the towel over his head, like all curled up. Somehow disappeared inside of a desk chair. And I don't know, man. I just think there's something going on with him that he's just overthinking it or something on offense because it's bad.
You need to ask him what's going on.
Took one shot in 18 minutes. One.
You have to try to not take shots.
You have to stay away from the basketball.
He also had a layup against the Clippers where he took off too early, and
Dude, that was so lucky.
Everybody thought he was going to miss it.
When that went in, I was like, that was the luckiest thing ever.
The
That did
luckiest
not
layup
look
you
like
could imagine.
He just like threw it up.
Diallo played 11 minutes, got 4 shots.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of done like babying Ferguson.
An NBA player.
Yeah.
A starting NBA
doesn't
player.
it feel like
millionaire.
the people that are standing up for him are kind of babying him a little bit?
Yes.
It's like, oh, well, good job really being active.
It feels like they're treating
who
him like
stands up
he's
for him?
this.
There's people that do. And it's just like the bar's just why are we doing this? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like you have good players on your bench. And Ferguson
I'd rather see Burton than Ferguson.
I just don't know how many teams Ferguson would actually play for. Like how many teams would he play, honest to God, 10 minutes a game?
I don't know, because I do think that if he was
a team that's expected to make the playoffs.
there, you go. That's the difference. Because if he was playing on some trash team, didn't
He's
really
playing
matter.
for the Knicks or whatever. Yeah, he'd play.
He'd be shooting, and he would probably be shooting all the
He
time.
would,
and
MSG,
shooting
man.
Well,
MSG.
anyway, yeah.
Anyway, thanks.
We've talked way too much about Ferguson.
That's true.
We
It's
have,
such a
but it's a
glaring
big
issue
deal.
yeah,
Like,
such a glaring
it's a
issue
big
for
deal
the
because we just saw how much better this team is when they have Alex Abrines out there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's not an issue. Like some people are like, well, I don't really think it's as much of an issue who starts and who finishes. I was like, but it kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't start, then you automatically limit the amount of minutes you can play. So, anyways.
Well, thanks for the question at NBA 0435011151. Our next Twitter question comes from at Pepsi United, who says the team is last in the league in fouls committed in opponents' free throws. This means they did a bad job in adjusting to new rules. Do you think they'll be able to adapt better?
They already have. I mean, last night they only had 21. So, like they're gonna get there.
They worked way harder to go straight up. I
Yeah.
you could see last night some of the fruit of them trying to adjust.
And some of it is like laziness on
Mhm.
switches and bad communication.
And just laziness because they just reach in for a steal
Yeah,
instead of
exactly.
sticking in front of their player.
Yeah, they have to adjust, and they've been good. I mean, they're up to 5th in defensive rating.
Mm-hmm.
now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa, we're
So-
good now.
They're like 26th in offensive.
Hey, they were 27th.
Aren't they 26th? Yeah, 26th.
Trending upwards.
Yeah.
But remember last season how they were like one of the top teams on the defensive end, and then they were just awful offensively for forever. It felt like, and until Paul George, like his foot wakes up,
Tonight.
hopefully tonight.
What if he took off his shoe and he's like, "Oh, there's actually just literally a dead fish in there."
All I could think about is Mr.
That's why it felt weird.
All I
It
can
was a
think-
cold dead fish, and it made his. He's like, "Your foot feels like a dead
He
fish."
just has a bunch of minnows. in
All
his
I could think
Yeah.
about is
shoes.
Mr. Deeds, the Adam Sandler movie where he had the frostbitten foot.
It's really funny. I have.
Ew, I
have a-
remember
I have
that
a story about this to tell you later.
You can't tell us now.
No.
Oh, is it a frostbitten other appendage?
Oh, no. Let's move on to our
How
next
dare
Twitter.
you?
Let's move on to our next Twitter
Oh,
question.
man, what happened?
Comes from at
I'm
John.
about to dunk.
It comes from at Jonte Grand 99, who wants to know, should the Thunder sign Nick Young?
No.
No.
All right, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from at bin _
You're
Burke.
desperate enough for shooting.
You're not that
No.
desperate. You're not that desperate. The Thunder value defense way too much.
Our
In
next
fact, I heard that that his agent called the Thunder and asked if they had interest, and they said
I said no.
I'm sure his
No.
agent has called literally every
team.
Yeah.
And they said and in fact, I heard, I don't know how true this is, but I heard that they said no because Alex Abrines, because of him. 'Cause
Really?
They want to play him. Yeah. And they are.
Wow. Our next Twitter question comes from at bin _ Burke 10, who wants to know who will go down as being the dirtier player over their career: Pat Bev, Zaza, or Ron Artest?
I don't think of Ron Artest as dirty.
I mean, the Malice at the Palace.
Mouse at the Palace, hardened elbow. I mean, I know he's done dirty things, but he's
it
been
because-
such a better player that I don't think of him as just
You
a
think of
dirty
him as a
player.
dirty player. You don't think of him as a dirty player because he's been a mental health activist.
Oh,
No,
maybe.
that would be the opposite for Taylor.
No. No.
Okay, I'm just
If
curious.
you come out and you say you struggle with this, and then
Mhm.
you try to do something about it, awesome. If you're DeMar DeRozan and you get all the rose petals thrown at your feet, and then you don't do anything for anyone else,
I just don't.
F off.
You just have no idea.
I have no. Why would he
How much
needs
research have you done?
enough to know that Kevin Love is doing stuff and
Enough.
DeMar isn't?
Here's what I know.
Or
DeMar
Kevin Love
DeRozan-
just wants people to know that he's doing
There's an article out this week about DeMar DeRozan's engagement with the community of San Antonio as far as mental health.
It's true.
Well, what's he doing?
Why don't you take a look?
Bunch
Why
of
don't you
nothing.
take a
Don't
look?
Why?
I
It's
didn't know
his
if that
job.
was true, but
It's
I
his-
just said that to see
it's
if
his
you would-
job.
You made that up.
It's his job to make you aware.
That is not something to joke about, Jay.
Wow.
Uh,
Zaza's the one I think the most. of,
Zaza's
to be
really.
honest.
I mean, all
Yeah.
three of those
Pat Bev.
guys. All three. I mean, I don't know. It's toss up for me. I mean, all those guys. I mean, it's probably Ron Artest at the end of the day, because
Think?
I mean, he punched a fan in the stands.
I see that as a
What do we call that?
not dirty player.
One of the most that was
Pat Beverly is
that
not ever
shaped
going to
the
do
NBA
that.
more than anything has
That
in
was
recent memory.
crazy. I watched that not too long ago. The whole thing. Go
I
ahead,
mean,
man.
that changed so many things.
Did
And
you
so,
know? Did you hear like when Steven Jackson was talking about that, and he said when they got back in the locker room, Ron Artest said, "Do you think we're gonna get in trouble for this?"
I mean, I think it's Ron, and then for the other two, like they're all very dirty players. Like they all do stupid stuff, and they're reckless, and like that's people are like, well, there's a line between reckless and dirty. Like there's really not actually. Like if
Mhm.
you're completely reckless, throwing yourself at somebody's knees, like and Dellavedova could be thrown into this conversation too. If you're reckless with your body, you are a dirty player. period.
I want to say Chris Paul too. Chris
Yeah.
Paul does stuff like
He's
that
more
all
like-
the time.
He's dirty, but in a way that doesn't. It's not more outright.
And he's not gonna. He's
'Cause
not
he's
trying to hurt.
smart.
He's not trying to hurt people.
It's like Steve, probably.
Yeah,
People would you? I mean, is that fair?
He's like John Stockton.
yeah,
like, just
John
trying to,
Stockton,
like,
same thing.
Just
Yeah.
punch
Which
people in
people
the
said was
nuts.
like the dirtiest player.
right.
Yeah,
of
that's
the
kind
era.
of weird that I never thought of John Stockton in that way until other players started talking about him being
you get
dirty.
hit in the nuts enough times by John Stockton, you're eventually going to stay.
Also, Draymond Green. Why
Yeah.
is he not in this
Yeah.
discussion?
yeah, he's a dirty player.
Dirty.
He's a dirty.
I don't know. I'm watching Basketball, a Love Story on ESPN,
Mhm.
and there were some guys in the 70s that one of them ended up. This is random, but literally would get in a fight every single game. And then I can't remember his name or where he played, but nobody knows where he is and how he died. Supposedly, after his NBA career, he went
Oh.
and one of these huge African dictators. I forgot his name.
Wow,
It's the
this
one that
took a weird turn.
he went and became a mercenary fighter for this guy after his NBA career, and everybody's like, we think he just kind of died in battle. Like we've never heard from him again. It's
Wow.
this Basketball Love Story is like my favorite thing right now. It's incredible.
That is cool.
Man, hashtag stop Coney. Don't forget. Can't forget.
Never forget.
All right, our next Twitter question
Bro,
comes.
what are you talking about, man?
Coney?
Hey, Coney,
Hashtag stop Coney.
Coney,
Stop
if you're listening to this,
Stop it.
turn yourself in.
Hey, if you're listening to this, stop it already. All right,
I'm
our
about to dunk.
next Twitter question comes from @Bangelope.
No comment.
@Bangelope wants to know the best version of the holiday Reese's candy. Is it pumpkins,
That's a good question.
trees, eggs, hearts? Does it even matter? Her husband seems to think there's a difference.
There's a difference.
Easter eggs are my favorites.
I was gonna say the Easter eggs too. They're very good.
They are good. There's a different. Is the difference like because of the different shape? It determines the ratio of chocolate to peanut
Yes,
butter.
because
my
I feel like
God.
there's less chocolate with the egg.
Mm,
The tree, there's definitely more chocolate.
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
I think I prefer just a little bit less chocolate.
Mm-hmm. I think I just like a normal cup.
See, the cup has more chocolate.
I like the mini cup.
Really?
The mini cup has the most chocolate.
I like the mini cup, and if you put the mini cup in the refrigerator, and then the next day come back and eat it, the best version.
Did you also invent putting Reese's in the refrigerator?
You got to
Yes.
be kidding me.
Put it
You
in.
invented that?
But just do it.
Oh my god.
His name was John Brisker, and he died at the hand like Idi Amin, who was the huge African dictator.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. I'll show you all videos later.
He was fighting for him?
Yes, died in battle. I was like, what?
Wow.
You know what Zaza Pachulia didn't do? Any of that.
Yeah, fake. Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Bring the
All
noise.
Clip it hard on that. That sounds really bad.
Hey, guys, I got one final question for you. But before I do, I want to talk to you about Oklahoma Shirt Company. I've stolen an Oklahoma Shirt Company shirt from my brother,
That a boy.
and I wear it all the time now.
I didn't know where that was heading at
And
first.
He don't even know it, and it is
He
the
does
most
now.
comfortable. I've been trying to remember. This is my way of telling him, and it's been very comfortable. It's been a great steal, and their prices are steal. Wow. They're so good. If you need a shirt made for anything, book club, book of the month club, a book you really like on a shirt, you can get it. You get anything you want on a shirt.
Book of the month club.
Bro, what are you talking about,
I'm
man?
talking about books.
Why?
But you can get anything. I don't know. You can get anything you want on a shirt. They can do it. They'll work with you, and they're very easy and nice to work with. Also, got to talk about their shirt of the month club. If you pay $10, you get a new shirt every month. Just for starting up, you get an introductory shirt for free.
Woo.
It's an Oklahoma themed shirt.
Also, Arkansas, Texas, Kansas, Missouri. The other thing I will
Alaska.
Say it.
I just saw it this week. They will do custom cornhole boards.
Yeah.
Really?
And bags.
Really?
Yeah.
They
That's
can literally.
cool.
What? There's nothing. What? That they can't do for you.
That
Wow.
was. I saw that too. That was cool.
They do it.
OklahomaShirtCompany.com. Check them out. Tell them Down to Dunk sent you.
Support those that support us.
Cornhole.
Now, guys, I have a final question for you, and it is as follows. Hear me,
Oh,
Miffed and peeved.
that was gross.
Hear miffed? Hear
Um,
paved?
so I'm handing out candy, Halloween. I'm just miffed at these teenagers that just show up not wearing any costume with a Walmart sack.
Yes, youths.
I make each of them explain to me what they are and what they're doing here before they get any candy.
Dude, you're about to get tricked.
Didn't get tricked once. In fact, a girl even slowly just backed away as I kept saying, she goes, I'm just myself. I'm saying, you're yourself every day. This is Halloween. You're supposed to dress up. That's how you get the candy. Like, you just explained to me that you're something different than yourself and you'll get the candy. And she could not do it. And she just backed away. And everybody else, I had them make up what they were in front of me before I handed them any candy.
Oh, that's good. So as long as they tried, they got candy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say your Halloween really that's like very transactional love. You know,
That's
you got to give me something, and then I'll give you something.
you just wear a costume or at least pretend that you're
Or
something
just
else.
put a hat on.
Yeah.
If
Just-
they would have come out and said, I'm my friend Taylor.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. I would have said perfect candy.
Be like, I
Candy
don't know
for you.
what either of you look like outside of this moment.
The worst answer was, I'm nothing. I said, son, everybody's something.
We went down and trick-or-treated in Mesta Park. I mean, that's a different level of trick-or-treating, by the way.
It's like all king size bars.
Whole candy bars
No,
from
it's
everybody.
just there are 1,000 people
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
streets. And and my son did pull down some full-size candy bars.
Oh yeah.
The hard part about so here's the question.
down.
What do you do? You had three, two kids that were probably trick-or-treating. I don't
Yeah,
think.
my 3-month-old. Not quite there yet.
Ours not all in.
What even are you,
So
baby?
what do you
He
do?
was Robin.
Like they have
Oh,
so
yeah,
much.
it's
I know it was so awesome. They have so much candy. What do you do with it?
Slowly eat it all myself.
Yeah.
Number one, and then there's second one. Like I eventually throw it all away.
The first thing you have to do, I imagine,
does
as a
candy go
parent,
bad?
is take the candy away from your child.
Yeah, you
So
put
they
it,
don't
you-
eat it all.
Yes, you
and
hide it
ration
and then,
it out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly what we do.
Yeah, after a meal, like, hey, you eat everything you're supposed to. You go pick out a piece of candy.
Yep, exactly. But it's like there.
We'll do
Andrew-
that forever.
15 pounds of candy he came home with. It's like, what do you do? It's just he'll have all the candy until next Halloween.
Yeah, I remember literally having candy for a whole year from Halloween, like in our candy drawer.
It's awesome.
And my wife's not about that life.
Get candy. Get
She
candy,
just
get
throw it
candy.
away.
Andrew needs to learn to
That's
start hiding stuff from you guys.
For real, he's too honest, man. He's the best. He really won't. Like
For now,
he'll come home and tell us about like his day. Like I got in trouble today.
you know what he's doing? He's playing the long game. He's laying groundwork right now.
Andrew's too trustworthy to do that.
Yeah, he's like, he would never do
He
that.
would never. He's never lied to me once.
He's like 16. He said, I've been working on this toward this moment for 9 years.
Finally, my plan has come
Taylor,
to
you miffed-
fruition.
You Mr. Peeves?
I'm so glad Halloween's over. I hate Halloween. It's probably my least favorite
It's my
holiday.
favorite.
It's my least favorite.
It's my
It's your
favorite.
favorite.
My favorite holiday.
Not my favorite.
Too much pressure, man.
It's just a dumb holiday. I will say though, Netflix put out The Haunting of Hill House.
I want to see it. I
It's
haven't watched
good.
it yet. I've
It's
heard
really
I've heard
good.
Oh, speaking of Netflix,
heard
every
it's
time you turn on
scary.
Netflix, does this happen for you guys where it makes the scary sound and then has a scary background? It's terrible. Amy will like turn on the TV in the middle of the night whenever she gets up with our baby, and you just hear this like whenever Netflix fires up. Terrifying.
Wait, they changed it for Halloween?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
mine didn't do that.
It's on the Fire Stick.
Oh, that's why.
Luke, you have to pee, man.
No, can't. After my only myth is that Halloween's over. I love Halloween. It's so good.
Santa, hurry!
Santa, hurry!
Thunder got a lot of games before we get back to you. 4 total games. They play the Wizards tonight. They play.
Predictions for tonight.
Nope, don't do that anymore. They play the Pelicans on Monday. They play the Cavs on Wednesday. They play the Rockets on Thursday.
We'll see. I'm
Oh,
gonna
0
hold
and
Jay
4.
saying
0 and
that
4.
over you.
They're going 0 and 4.
0 and 4 for Jay.
What?
I'm about to
Santa.
dunk.
Santa, hurry!
I'm about to dunk. I'm about to dunk.